This segment of Bridge Street is sponsored by CNY Cosmetic and Reconstructive Surgery.
And this morning, we're focusing on the surgery side of CNY Cosmetic and Reconstructive Surgery. One of the many procedures they perform are the reduction of enlarged breast tissue in men and many other male plastic surgeries. Here with how they can help our plastic surgeons, Dr. Anthony Deboni and Dr. Gregory Baum. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us. And I mean, you know, we talked about in the intro the enlarged breast tissue in men, but that most of us know that as man boobs. Yeah,
correct.
I mean,
yes.
that's the least formal way to say it, but
Right.
there is a name for that, a real name for that. What is that?
It's called gynecomastia.
Okay, gynecomastia.
So, but when people go on Google and they look this up, they're going to look up man boobs,
right.
Not gynecomastia, generally speaking.
Because how do you even spell it? You
right,
know?
exactly.
No, but so this is a problem. I mean, I was reading about this, and I understand that, you know, this can happen in men, and generally, especially even in boys, and generally it goes away. But sometimes in the older age, in your older years, men can still have this, and it can be quite frustrating and embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it very commonly, as you mentioned, in young boys, teens, when they go through puberty, there's a little bit of breast growth, and that usually settles down, but in some cases it persists, and so many times we're dealing with younger kids that have the breast tissue, but as you said, the most common time we see it is men age. Once we get into our 40s and 50s, a lot of hormonal changes, testosterone levels drop, and that promotes breast growth, and also certain drugs, as well as, honestly, the use of marijuana, which is becoming more and more popular. We have this little expression, they say, you know, doobies give you boobies.
What? I never heard of that.
Yeah, very true.
So, the use of marijuana it suppresses some of the testosterone and then increase breast growth. So it's a very common problem, and we just want to let men know that we have very good options to correct that.
Okay, so what are some of those corrections? Surgery, I'm guessing.
Surgery is, generally speaking, you know, what it comes down to, and the common complaints that people talk about, obviously, is breast enlargement. They're embarrassed to take their shirts off. Frequently, they wear several shirts to kind of suppress the excess volume of the breast, but it's also can be very painful. And that's commonly what they come in complaining of, is I don't like the looks of it, and it is very painful when I'm doing certain activities.
Okay.
So one of the things that I always ask is have you ever used steroids in the past when you're at the gym working out? Because we know that also is a risk factor for developing this problem. Yeah. But the treatment typically is surgery.
Can you do liposuction?
You can, but it's tough with the male breast because the male breast is typically more fibrous than the female breast. So we will use liposuction sometimes for contouring and to feather things out and smooth out the chest wall to give you a better appearance. But the hard excess breast tissue is typically cut out. Okay,
well, that's one of the things. You have something else to add?
No, what I'm saying is usually it's a small incision just along the border of the nipple, so it's very well hidden. It's not something that results in a large amount of scarring. It can be done very easily. Sometimes for smaller amounts, we can actually do it in the office with the office operating room.
Oh, good. So you can take your shirt off. So the scar's not big enough to where you still don't want to take your shirt off, but you know you can.
The scar is this big.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Okay. What else do you guys do for men? Because I mean, so much of the time we think of you guys as just being for the ladies.
Yeah. No, there's Botox is a very popular fillers, just like you hear about for women, but men are doing a lot of it as well. Liposuction is very common.
We also offer, you know, the thing, platelet-rich plasma, which I think some of the PAs talked about last time.
Yes.
And that does work for hair growth. So if your hair is thinning, platelet-rich plasma can improve hair growth. It's not going to replace hair that's completely gone,
right.
But it is a procedure that takes 15 minutes, and done every 6 months, it can actually thicken the hair, and also we have options for you know, reducing sweating, things like that.
Oh yeah, that's big. Yeah.
But you know, men, you know, plastic surgery is not just for women anymore. We do tend to see a male component.
Well, good. We're happy. We like our men looking nice and hot and sexy. So thank you for keeping them that way. Listen, CNY Cosmetic and Reconstructive Surgery is located at 5898 Bridge Street in East Syracuse. You can call them at 315-663-0112. Listen, they're hosting a charity holiday toy drive. It's going on now until next Friday. Bring in a toy donation and you'll receive 20% off of all skincare products and all esthetician services. And also, look hot for the holidays. holidays, CNY Cosmetic and Reconstructive Surgery is having a cheek and lip special. Purchase 3 syringes of filler, 2 for the cheek, 1 for the lips, for $1,649. That's a $300 savings, and you can get that now through the end of the year, December 31st. For more information, you can visit their website, plasticsurgeryofsyracuse.com.